Hi students, today we are going to look into the causes of economic growth. Before we look into the causes, alright, let us define what is economic growth. Economic growth can be defined as the increase in the amount of goods and services produced by an economy over time. How economic growth can be measured? Economic growth can be measured through your real GDP. What causes economic to grow? All right, the factors that account for the differences in the economic growth rates of different countries include variation in the following. We are looking into the four types, which different countries will have a different impact on their economic growth. First, we are looking into the factors endowments. What do you mean by factors endowments? Factor endowments meaning this is referred to the quantity and quality of the country's factor of production. For example, Saudi Arabia is well endowed in the supply of oil. For example, Malaysia, we are rich in primary sector. For example, we are still rich in palm oil. We still have sufficient resources on the raw materials of the primary sector, pineapple, all right, or even we can say extraction of oil. This talking about the causes, what actually caused the economic to grow? When we are looking into the, recently we all were so worried about the economic in Malaysia. All right, every one of us was talking about we are declining, our economic is not balancing. All right, due to the pandemic. But actually, what causes that to happen? How strongly you believe, and what is the proof of saying that our economic is not doing well? So we can actually look into the four criteria. The four criteria we are talking about the factors endowments. Number one, which is also talking about the factors of production, we are rich. So is there a lacking? That is one of the specialization of the production. All right, and also we can look into that how exactly it benefiting the economic of scale. Economic of scale, how exactly we can actually, what causes that? When we are talking about economic growth, all right, factors of production, we are rich in primary sector, or even we can say we are rich in a secondary sector. So what causes that actually to happen? That is what we are going to look into economic growth. The second factor that we are going to look into the labor force. All right, and recently when I was using Mr. Google to know the percentage of a labor force during this pandemic, because we always argue saying that during this pandemic most of the people are not unemployed. All right, so looking into that, all right, the statistic says 3.5 above, 3.5 to 3.9 percentage. All right, people are unemployed during this pandemic. So the labor force will be one of the factors that we are going to look into the growth of economy. The size, skills, and mobility of the economic workforce as an impact on the country's economic growth. That causes economic to grow. All right. So economic growth meaning economic depends on the factors of production, the usage, the quality and quantity that we are producing over time. All right. Labors will be one of the factors. And also labor productivity, the efficiency. That is also very important for us to look into it. Labor productivity is the goods and services that worker can produce in a given period of time. All right. So if there is no efficient productivity, meaning to say that the economic doesn't grow well, this is due to you will be lacking in the exports. There will be lacking in the internal growth. All right. So these are the things that we have to look when we are talking about economic growth. Economic growth depends on the four factors, meaning to say that the quality and quantity of the factors of production, the labor productivity, and also on your investment expenditure. In order to remain competitive in the long run, countries must invest in capital resources, investment in a component of aggregate demand, so an increase in investment should help to boost the GDP. Investment also will be one of the factors. I always say, all right, economics depends on three main sources. That is on your people's purchasing power, investment, and also on your taxation. So therefore, these are the 4 factors that we have to look into very seriously, what causes that to grow. And moreover, when we are talking about economic and the causes, this is very important for the students to know. What actually make economics to grow beside all this? The importance growing of the secondary sector also will be one of the factors that causes economic to grow. Industrialization, or even now we can talk about service sector, tertiary sector. These are the impact, all right, to argue more. What causes actually economic to grow? We can talk on argue on your past. Past also will be one of the factors that help economic to grow eventually. So when we are talking about causes of economic growth, we are not restrict ourselves into these 4 factors, factors of endowments, labor productivity, or even investment. We can actually explore the explanation. We can actually expand the explanation through being, say, that the importance growing of secondary sector, manufacturing and processing, tertiary sector, services, or even we can talk about the past, the growth of economics, sustainability. That is also one of the economic growth. All right, so these are the things that we have to look into, how efficiently we can talk about the growth of economy. In next class, we will be looking into the advantages and disadvantages of economic growth. All right, so stay cool. I'll see you in next class, guys. Thank you.